And that's the call for us now as we look at Matthew 28 and this Great Commission. We get to be disciples. And to be a disciple then is about where you focus your attention and your affection. Where do we spend our heart time and our actual time? And you have to do this on purpose. There is no such thing as an accidental disciple of Jesus. You can be an accidental disciple of a whole lot of other things because the world has an incredibly effective recruitment strategy, and you can find yourself a disciple of something without ever knowing that you bought into it, but you have. And if we want to be followers of Jesus Christ, if we want to be disciples of Jesus, then we get to make that choice. We have to choose it, which means we have to go contrary to the current and to the flow of this world. We have to press into what it means to be a follower of Jesus. And so what we're going to be spending our time doing in this next season is spending a few weeks talking about how is it that we practice being and living the way of Jesus Christ. How do we practice being disciples? Practice is a key word, by the way, because we're not going to get it right. We're gonna spend time with this because our larger theme of this year is about practicing the presence of God. And when we're walking in the way of Jesus, we're going to be in God's presence. And so, but the whole idea here is in this next few weeks is to talk about just practical things we can be doing to be growing in our relationship with Christ and to be disciples in new ways. And we're going to have a couple of major points to go along with it. We're going to be spending some time asking, what does it mean to be with Jesus? How do we be with Jesus every moment of every day? How do we do that? How do we be like Jesus will be the next thing, because that's what a disciple wants to do. A disciple wants to be like their rabbi. How do we be like Jesus? And then the third step is going to be, how do we do as Jesus did? How do we structure our lives around that? And then finally, we're going to talk about how in each of our individual lives, how do we actually kind of develop our own simple rule of how we're going to live and conduct ourselves? Because everybody's journey of faith is going to be different. Some people love fasting. Other people are hardcore Bible studiers. Maybe the ratio, depending upon who you are, is going to be different, but how that God is at work, we get to figure that out, and we're going to do that together. But the key thing here is that we all need to be intentional about it. To be a disciple is to make the choice, and we get to practice. It won't be perfect. In fact, at times it'll be very ugly. It's like a musical instrument, though. You don't just sit down in front of a piano and start dancing away and making it sound wonderful. It takes years of practice. So does our faith. And we will fail. Just like Peter walking on the water. His mentality will waver, and so will ours. And Jesus will reach out to us and grab us as soon as we call for him.